Hey guys, what's up? Darcy here at 6 Strings 9 Lives. Back for another episode of 6 with 6 Strings. Welcome to episode 9. You know what? If you're, I just want to say welcome if you're newer to the channel, or if you're one of the usual suspects. Welcome. As always, love to hear from you in the comments section. And in this unsure time, these videos or sitting down to watch a movie, or listening to music, which is a huge part of my life. Hey, a little escape from reality is a good thing, and we all have the same worries right now. Just a little different for everybody. I understand that, but nobody's worries are more important than the next person. And try to stay positive, which I always try to do. Don't be selfish. Those are just words that I'm trying to, instill on my family and the people that are in my life. But anyways, so welcome to another episode. Just 6 random albums out of my collection to talk about, and let's jump right into it. This episode I picked, there's an album that I'm absolutely looking forward to, and I broke a bit of one of my rules. I don't normally listen to a whole new album before it's released. I will listen to the 1 or 2 tracks that get released, whether it's a lyrical video or whatever. But this time I cheated. I did listen to the Brand New Testament, Titans of Creation. And if you include this one, the past 4 albums, I think we might have a new favorite, and maybe even a contender, absolutely a contender for album of the year for 2020. Like I said, I listened to it once, and that's all it took. And I will leave it at that until I actually get a physical copy of it, which I've pre-ordered. But yeah, you're in for a treat if you've heard. You know what? And it's not even the first 2 singles. It's the rest. It's just fantastic. Anyways, I had pulled out Brotherhood of the Snake the other day. Out of the, now including Titans of Creation, this would be considered what would be my least favorite of the latest 4 since they've reunited in 2008. So right now, Formation of Damnation is my current favorite out of those. But like I said, look out, the train is coming, and you know what? I hope my copy is, in the mailbox, very close to the release date. Let's put it at that. So anyways, what's your favorite? Are you a Testament fan, first of all? Do you have a favorite of these latest 4 albums? We all, most of the people I talk to and stuff like that love the early Testament, especially the first 3 or 4 albums. Fantastic. So yeah, Brotherhood of the Snake, my favorite tracks on here. My favorite track on here has always been Stronghold. The Pale King is an awesome song. Little weak on some of the songwriting as far as, just lyrical content. I mean, Eric Peterson always does a really amazing job, but on this album, it's not that dynamic. It's more of a, he doesn't get off track much, and it kind of, samey, I guess you could say. Anyways, Can of Business, the lyrical content, whatever, not a big deal. To each his own, but I don't know. Blackjack, but a good album. I'm definitely not bashing it. Just my least favorite of the newer stuff. All right, on to the next one. And here's a band that maybe you didn't even know I liked. And I don't have all their material. I have, I think, the 10 reissues, and they're very, very good live album. But anyways, this is UFO's 7th studio album and last studio album to feature Michael Schenker on guitar. Yes, I do like some UFO. I only have 10 out of their 22 studio albums. And to be honest, I think I'm good with that. I know there's probably great albums out there, but just, you know, a band I do enjoy, I'm just not all out on it. But anyways, here's the back. So this is the Chrysalis reissue, which all the 10 studio albums I do have are the reissues plus the live album. No Stranger, what is it? No, sorry. Here it is. Strangers in the Night, fantastic live album, which I believe that was the last to feature Michael Schenker as far as until actually he rejoined in 1993 for an album. I've never heard that one, so let me know. You know, are you a fan of UFO? Do you look past the, you know, the albums from? I'm only familiar with stuff from Phenomenon to the album Misdemeanor. So, what do you think of UFO? This is a, you know, great songs on here. Only You Can Rock Me, Cherry, You Don't Fool Me, last track Born to Lose, great album. Next up, okay, we will gonna go to this live album. So once in a while I'll throw in a live album or a cassette or vinyl. In the case of here, I'm going with all CDs today. Anyways, as you know, in you know, after 1990, Rob Halford left Judas Priest for, you know, until he returned in 2005, and in comes Tim Ripper Owens. I do have the 2 live albums, and this is the one I've been spinning lately. The 2 live albums they did with Ripper on vocals. This one is called 98 Live Meltdown. You know, and I just really wanted to check out the songs that were done live from Jugulator. Again, just refresh my memory. And on this album is 5 out of 10 songs from Jugulator. We have Bloodstained, Burn in Hell, Bullet Train, Death Row, and Abductors. So that's 50% of, out of what, 24 songs, 50% of that Jugulator album is on here. Very heavy songs. And this is a really good album. Like, it's a good live album. I think Ripper did a good job. He has big shoes to fill. Absolutely. Yes, I'm a big Rob Halford fan, always will be. You know what, the metal god rules. But even the songs that are, you know, the older Priest songs on here, even feel heavier on this album. And I don't know, maybe that's what they were after. And, you know, that's the element that Ripper brings to the table. But anyways, this one is an original pressing from 1998 on BMG. And any of the Ripper stuff really is screaming for a reissue, including, I'll just hold this one up too. This is live in London, and Jugulator and Demolition. The one thing I wanted to talk about a little bit is Iron Maiden. I really respect those guys for acknowledging anything that Blaze Bayley did. Whether you like it or not, that's up to you. But just the acknowledgement that he was part of their history. And you know what, to this day, Bruce sings stuff like Lord of the Flies, The Klansman. He does, still does the very popular songs from Paul Di'Anno days. I just really like to see Judas Priest kind of go down that road. And a lot of it's probably to do with, you know, different labels and stuff like that. Getting the rights to their music might be a problem. But anyways, kudos to Iron Maiden for, you know, really keeping the spirit alive of Blaze Bayley and Paul Di'Anno in their career. Yeah, and I hope to see some Judas Priest reissues. I mean, there's a lot of people that would love to pick them up. They're ridiculously priced for the most part. Anyways, we're going to move on to each episode. I carry over one band. Last episode, I showed the album by Van Halen. And yeah, Van Halen's not for everybody. You know, I know a lot of my friends in the UK aren't big. Like maybe Van Halen never really got huge out there, or but I do love them. And David Lee Roth and Sammy Hagar, you know, awesome. Even the one album with Gary Cherone is, well, it's actually not that great, but anyways, it's part of their history too. Last episode, I showed the album for Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. That was an album with Sammy on vocals. This time, this was my introduction to Van Halen, and the song was And the Cradle Will Rock. So this is Women and Children First, 1980. Just an awesome album. The opening riff of And the Cradle Will Rock is just classic. I love it. And just a great album. Probably, if I was doing some sort of Van Halen ranking, this would be very high up there. With songs like Everybody Wants Some, Fools, Take Your Whiskey Home, and of course the song I mentioned that really rocks is And the Cradle Will Rock. Just love that song. So anyways, a little Van Halen. You know, if you're into them, hey, good. If it's not for you, go on to the next thing. But definitely like a little Van Halen in there. Two more to show you for this episode, and then we'll see who gets to carry over to episode 10. Now, this is my introduction to a Canadian speed metal band from right here in Canada, out east in the Ontario region, and that is the band Exciter and the album Long Live the Loud. Now, the first song I ever heard from this band is a song called Born to Die. Absolutely killer. And this is actually a reissue from 2005 and was remastered by Jeff Waters from Annihilator. If you don't have at least the first 3 or 4 Exciter albums, you're missing out. If you enjoy some a little bit of thrash elements, mostly speed metal, 3-piece, very unique band. Your drummer, Dan, is actually the singer too. So if you ever see any live footage where the drummer is the singer too, hey, no easy task, first of all, but fantastic album. Songs like Fallout, Long Live the Loud, Sudden Impact, Wake Up Screaming, and my favorite track on here, Born to Die. Go check that out. Exciter, if you don't know them already. And the last one I will talk about today, let's get a little drink, is a band that I'm fairly new to overall, past couple years. And that is they are part of the new wave of British heavy metal. The band is Enforcer, and this is their third album actually from 2013 called Death by Fire, and really, I guess, my introduction to Enforcer. Definitely fond of their fourth album, From Beyond. Their newest album, Zenith, was I don't know, not brutal, but definitely, you know what I'm talking about if you've heard the album. There is a couple of really good tracks on there, but definitely a departure from this one and Far Beyond. If you do enjoy the new wave of British heavy metal, definitely check out Enforcer. Songs like Mesmerized by Fire was absolutely one of my favorites from this album. Death Rides This Night, Run for Your Life, a really good album. 2013 release on Nuclear Blast. I still don't have their first 2 albums. I will. The first one's called Into the Night, and the second one is called Diamonds. And I think I need to get those 2 from what I hear. I think I'm missing out on some good stuff. Hoping to see Enforcer get back. You know, I know they're only, what, 5 albums into their career, but they kind of got to get back to their roots, or, you know, they tried something new. You know what? You can't fault a band for trying something new. Didn't work. Back to the drawing board. Anyways, thank you very much for stopping by. I will definitely see you in the comments section. I hope everybody's staying safe. And, you know, I'm only leaving the house when I really have to, you know, whether it's once a day or on certain days. You know, I don't leave the house at all. We're okay here right now. We're not, you know, locked up tight yet, but you know what? It's probably coming, and what can you do? But until next time, stay heavy.